Hi, I'm Robin Rosti of robinrosti.com. I'm a freelance writer, and my real passion is helping other freelance writers get started or move ahead in their careers. And so I field a lot of questions from people who are just starting out. How do I get started freelance writing? Or how do I get started freelance editing? Or how do I get started freelancing? And the main advice I give is get a writer's market guide. And often I see maybe a little bit of hesitation or overwhelm, or just, are you sure that's the right move? And yes, I think so, personally. Now, I understand that they're really big, and that is quite intimidating. Also, there are a lot of choices. How do you get started even choosing a market guide, saying you're even going to do it? So I thought I'd take a few minutes and outline why I think you should get a market guide, and then I'll show you my favorite one. So why I think you should get a market guide. These things are great. They're comprehensive. They outline everything that's going on in the industry. They point you towards editors, agents, publishers, publications who are actually looking for new clients or new writers or new editors. They give you information on what they want specifically, what they don't want, and the best ways to get in touch with them. Now, you think, I could just Google them. Yeah, you can. This is just elimination of the chaff, because Google, you get everything. These ones are like a little more vetted, a little more narrowed down. When you Google, I'm looking for an agent for blah, you're going to end up with a lot of options. How are you going to filter through all of those? These guys have kind of already done that work. They've included agents who are legit, who are proven in the industry, and who are looking for new clients, that kind of thing. So if you want to just skip a few steps, I would say get a market guide. Now, which one? Depends on your preference. So the one I keep holding up is the Writer's Digest General Market Guide. So it's a big overall view at all the different kinds of markets you could want to write in. If you want to get more specialized or specific, like magazine writing, novel writing, I have novel and short stories, children's, you can get those individual ones, and they're going to be smaller because, there's a few less options. There's also Christian writer markets. It's a big market, and, this one will cover it a bit, but it can't go into as much detail as a Christian one. And then there are several different publishers of these ones. So again, it comes down to which one resonates with you, which one makes the most sense. As far as a general writer's market guide, my personal favorite right now is Jeff Herman's guide. What I like about it, and I don't dislike the other ones, it's just this is my favorite. What I like about it right now is it is, I want to say casual, but it's still serious, but it doesn't pull punches. It is very blunt about what to expect if you're going to get into the industry. It's a tough slog. You're going to face a lot of rejection. Expect it. It doesn't beat around the bush with the fact that sometimes you got to do a little more work than just say, I really want to get published, and, send your query out to a lot of people. So I like that it's really honest and blunt and yet very helpful. So the most helpful part is actually the beginning. Part 1, advice for writers. Now, there's still that good advice in these other writers' guides, but this one I read every word and go back to regularly. I found it so helpful. Just, I don't know why, another level. It was just, it was what I needed to hear, maybe because it was so straightforward. So here's a couple chapter titles just to show you what I mean. Literary agents, what they are and what they do. I mean, pretty straightforward, but breaks it down, and it's super helpful. You might belong in the slush pile or elsewhere. There's another helpful essay. Just, you see what I mean? Like, maybe your work needs to improve. Consider it. The Writer's Journey, the Path of the Spiritual Messenger. Post-publication depression syndrome. Okay, so you see what I'm getting at here. Then it continues on, just like every other writer's market, but I like the way it's broken down. So how I would use this, because again, like if you're looking for a publisher or agent, this is still a lot of pages to go through. I say, go to the index. That's where I would go. Maybe you have your eye on a couple agents, editors. You can look them up in here. It's super helpful to do a deep dive into this book. Let's pull up an example here. So we're going to look up Martin Literary and Media Management on page 321. Okay. I don't know who this is, so this is a totally random example. Martin Literary and Media Management. Okay, so then you read through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Very comprehensive. So basically, they've done a question and answer, and then Charlene Martin has gone through and answered all these questions. So what would you be doing right now if you weren't responding to this survey? What would you be if not an agent? Do you think there are too many or too few or just enough agents? I mean, it goes pretty deep into who this agent is, what she's looking for. Please describe the kind of books you want to agent, so you can get a very good idea of who she is as a person and what she's looking for. You get a sense of if you think this is a good fit for you. That's what I like about these books, on top of going to the agent's website or following them on social media, which is important too. But this gives you a really nice idea of what they're looking for and how to communicate with them and exactly how to put everything together so you have your best shot. So that's a quick look at how to use a market guide. And really, like, you just got to get your feet wet. So, you know, as you can see, I have several. So if you need to look through one, and we live near each other, just let me know and I'll lend you one of mine. I can show you how I use it. I often, where's one I've used a lot? I often will put a lot of sticky notes in, and I challenge myself every year if I'm going to buy a new one, because often, you know, they're updated and revised, but often they're the same from year to year, like much of the same information. So I tell myself, if I'm going to get a new one, I have to use it. And so, you know, I go through them, highlight, you know, some different publications I want to try out, maybe some new magazines to pitch to, maybe some new agents to get in touch with or follow on social media. This is where I go. This is how I use it. So if you have any other questions, let me know. And I hope that was helpful.